घाट्य योग कलया हृदयाब्ज कोशम धन्यैश्चिरादपि यथारुचि गृह्यमाणः यः प्रस्फुरत्यभिरतं परिपूर्ण रूपः श्रेयः समे दिशतु शाश्वतिकं मुकुन्दः अमरी कभरी भारत भ्रमरी मुखरीकृतं दूरीकरोतु दुरितं गौरी चरण पंकजं परस्पर तपस्संपत् परस्पर फलायितौ प्रपंच माता पितरौ प्रांचौ जायापति स्तुमः. We are looking at the Luptopama. We saw the definition last time. Varnya upamana dharmanam upama vachakasya cha eka dvi tri anupadanat bhinna Luptopama ashtadha. There are 8 varieties of Luptopama according to Kuvalayananda. If you go to Kavya Prakasha, he will give you some 19 varieties of Luptopama and put together a few more of Purnopama. You have some totally 25 varieties of Upama in Kavya Prakasha. So by the time you cross Upama, it will be a headache for you. This is luckily we are having only 8 here. It's like this for you, a stepping stone to the next level. So Varnya, Upamana, Dharma, and Upama Vachaka. So there are 4 that can be, those are the parts of Upama. Any 1 or any 2 or any 3 are not there, then it is called Luptopama. Okay. Look at the example here. Luptopama Udaharanani. He has given 2 shlokas here. Mostly all of the varieties, all 8 of the varieties are combined here, but we have to take certain words together to understand that. Okay. Tadit Gauri Indutulyasya Karpuranti Drishormama Kantya Smaravadhuyanti Drishta Tanvi Raho Maya Yattaya Melanam Tatra Labho Me Yatcha Tadratehe Tadetat Kakataliyam Avitarkita Sambhavam. A Nayaka is describing the Nayika and he says Tanvi Rahaha Maya Drishta. So Tanvi, a beautiful lady, Rahaha in Rahasi, in secret was seen by me. So I saw her in secret. Who is, the rest are all description here. Tatit Gauri. She is as fair or as Gauram. Gauram is more fair. Yeah. So she is very fair or Prakasha Yukta, like a Tatit, like a lightning. Indu Tulya Asya. Her face is Tulya, equal to Indu, the moon. Mama Drishoho Karpuranti. She is like Karpura for my eyes. The eyes are, they shine better or they give anandam once you apply Karpuram to the eyes. So, Mama Drishoho Karpuranti Sa Tanvi. Tanvi is your Upameya here. Kantya Smaravadhuyanti. Kantya with her luster, with her, like a charisma. She looks like Sakshat Manmathasya Vadhuhu iva acharati. So Smara Vadhuyanti, she behaves like Manmatha's wife Rati herself. Maya Drishta, she was seen by me. Now the next sentence is Yattaya Melanam Tatra Labhaha Me Yatcha Tadratehe. So 2 things happened. One is she came there, I saw her. Maya Taya Saha Mama Melanam Tatra Labhaha. There was an extra benefit out of this when I saw her, that I could meet with her. That is, I saw her and I could also meet with her, talk to her. So Yat, the fact that Taya Melanam Tatra, wherever I saw her. Tatra iti vijane sthale iti svikriyate, where there is nobody, that it was a place where nobody was present. And yatcha me tadratehe labhaha. Not only did I meet her, I also had a chance to be with her intimately. So tadrati, there was also a possibility of sambhoga with her, which was a labha. This entire episode of accidentally meeting her and at the same time she was also very into me, too much into me, and so we had an intimate moment at that incident is tadetat kakata avitarkita sambhavam. It is a sambhava. It is a thing that happened without any tarka, without any logically making plans or anything. So it is an avitarkita, accident that happened, coincidence. Right? And tadetat kakataliyam. This whole thing is like kakataliya. So Tamil solluvom idhe expression we have in Tamil also. Kaka okara pananga vindhudu abdingrom. So when a crow comes and sits on a tree accidentally, but the fruit also falls down. So the fruit falling down is something that the crow can enjoy, because the fruit, as it falls down, the palm fruit, it just breaks, and the inside rasam can be enjoyed very beautifully, easily by the crow. So the crow did not have any plan here to enjoy the fruit, because it is difficult for the crow to bore through that fruit and have it, because the nungu solrolla adu romba, it's very hard on the outer surface, so it's very tough. It so happened that the crow came and sat down, and the whole thing fell, and it could enjoy this. That's all. So the Nayaka's meeting with the Nayika is equated to this situation. Now we are going to pick out only certain words and try to explain Luptopama, the 8 varieties of Luptopama. Now, first one is Tadit Gauri. Tadit Gauri Tanvi. This is Vachaka Lupta. I would suggest for these 8 varieties, you make a tabular column of your own. It's easier that way. And it's also easy to write a tabular column. I don't need to this thing. You just have first column la, you can write down what is the name of the Luptopama, like Vachaka Lupta. You don't have it in this category like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever they have given. Instead, have it as 3 of those are Ekalupta, 3 of those are 4 of those are Dvilupta, and then 3 Lupta. Move it that way so that it is easier to remember the varieties. Here he has combined up and down. Tadit Gauri, Tanvi, Maya, Rahasi, Drishta. He is giving us the whole sentence here, as in Maya, Rahasi, Drishta. He was seen by me in Ningle Potela or Namsha. Oh, that's good. Okay, you've written the whole thing as a paragraph. Fine. Okay, that's good.
I also did the classification of 1, 2.
And idula you have to start. Okay, let me show this so that it's easier for people to understand what I'm trying to say. What you can do here is upameyaha, upamana, and then instead of saying lopa, you write what there could be in red so that is not there. Ivadi shabdasya lopaha iti. So when it comes to dharma lopa, you need to know what is the dharma that is absent, which is not said here. So writing kantyadi here instead of lopa would make more sense. Okay. Yeah.
In the second picture I've actually shared, you can see I've actually classified by number of items that I'm making. Quickly take a look at it and let
okay. Okay. Ekaha, upamana. This is how I want it, so that it's easier for you to remember. There are 3 ekalupta, and then 4 dvilupta, and 1 trilupta. This is a good way to remember. Okay. So Tadit Gauri Tanvi, we only take this section and this word to show Vachaka Lupta. So Vachaka Lupta ityukte, we need Upameya, Upamana, and the Dharma should be mentioned here. So Tadit Gauri Tanvi, a beautiful lady, Tanvi, a lady who is as bright as a lightning. So Tadit Tanvi iti Vachaka Luptayaha Udaharanam. Tadit iva Gauri ityarthe vivakshite. That Tadit Gauri is a Samastapadam wherein that Iva has gone inside, but it is not to be seen at all in the Samastapadam, even though those two have gotten together. Now, Tadit Iva Gauri iti arthe vivakshite. When such an artha is vivakshitam, that is the vivaksha atrato taditiva gauri iti vaktavyam. Vaktavyeto tatra samastapadam kriyate. Upamanani samanya vachanaihi iti samase इवशब्दस्य वाचकस्य लोपात् वाचकलुप्ता. You have tatit, iva and gauri, but in the samastapadam you do not take in the iva at all. Iva is just an explanatory word that is there. You need tatit, the pratipadikam word of tatit, you need the pratipadikam of gauri, and then you join those two together based on the sutram upamanani samanya vachanaihi. What does that mean? Upamanam. So tatit is the upamanam here. They connect with samanya vachana. Samanya vachana is the same as samana dharma. Gauratvam is the samana dharma between the lady and a lightning. So tadit gauri, tadit iva sa gauri vartate. So you are using the samanya vachana within the samastapadam. Now to the question that one of you asked during the first class, wherein how do we distinguish between upama and rupakam when there is a vachaka lopa? Vachaka lupta atra vartate. So there is no iva here also. When I say tadit gauri tanvi, I have the samanya dharma which is needed. So the samanya dharma connects with the upamanam and that becomes the samastapadam. We need the samana dharma being mentioned here. Whereas in Rupaka, I don't need to have a samana dharma mentioned. It does not have to be there. It should not be there. Let's put it that way. So there is a complete superimposition of two things. So if I say Tadit Tanvi, then it is a Rupakam, clearly a Rupakam. It is not, don't confuse with whether it is, upamana, samana dharma vachaka lupta. Tatha nasti atra. It takes on a different form then. Okay. So iti samase ivashabdasya vachakasya lopat.
So if you wanted to make rupakam out of it, how would you say it?
Tadit tanvi. Tanvi eva tadit iti.
Oh, tadit tanvi. Okay, whereas here he said tadit gauri. He didn't say
No. Tanvi tadit iti. Tanvi lata. So
tanvi tadit.
The Rupaka samasam vandu saeva tadityeva tanvi or tanvi eva taditta appadi varanum. Here go.
So here he is saying tadit gauri. He is saying that he's not directly equating it, right? Is that why you're saying?
There is a samanya vachanam here. It is not the upamanam, upameya itself. It is the samana dharma that is being mentioned as gauri.
Okay. So it's adjectival rather than okay. Tadit gauri tanvi. Okay.
So if you have to make a samastapadam, it has to be if it is an upamita samasa versus rupaka samasa. In the upamita samasa, you will have an upamanam and a samanya vachana or sadharana dharma coming together. Is it clear?
So when he says samanya vachana, he of course anani means the dharma. He doesn't mean.
Yes.
So that's why it's not really a rupakam, because you're not equating two different things. You're just talking about the quality of a thing.
Yes. Okay. So he clearly states here, tanvi upameyam, tadit upamanam, gauratvam sadharana dharma. And iva, which is supposed to be here, how do you distinguish that it is an upama? You know that this tadit gauri has been formed with iva. But that iva is not present in your samasta padam. So which means the iva is absent. So vachaka lupta. Is it clear?
Madhya, that upamanani samanya vachanaihi is for this kind of samasa. This samasa. Is there a similar thing for the rupaka samasa? What is that?
அது
மயூரவியம்சக.
மயூரவியம்சகாவா அந்த மாதிரி போட்டுக்கணும். இல்லைன்னா இட் இஸ் வையாக்கரண கசூச்சி இட் பிகம்ஸ் அ நிந்தா பூர்வகம். So you'll have to put it under that mayuravamsaka.
Okay.
Yes, Janani.
Ma'am, can you sorry, once more repeat it? I'll ask in another context. In the Malavika Agnimitrathla, whenever Agnimitra describes Malavika, he'll always be using words like this, bimboshti.
Okay.
இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய அட்ஜெக்டிவ்ஸ் அழகா சொல்லிட்டே வருவார். அது எல்லாமே அப்போ வந்து உபமாதனா? அது எல்லாமே இட்ஸ் நாட் ரூபகா, சாரி,
ரூபகமான பிம்ப ஓஷ்டங்கர்ச்சே அந்த இடத்துல ரூபகம். ஏன்னா டைரக்டா தானே பிம்ப ஏவ ஓஷ்டம் தானே அங்க. சோ அதனால அப்படி வந்துரும். யூ ஹாவ் டு செக் வெதர் போத் பதம்ஸ் ஆர் upamana and upameyava, illa one is an upamanam and the other is a sadharana dharmamangirtha. You will have to keep checking in each of those idu samastapada. Seriya?
Okay, sadharana dharmamna, the nature of it rather than
quality, that is the comparison. That is the basis for the comparison. It is not the object itself, but it is the dharma upon which I am comparing two objects.
Okay. If I were to say Bimbarakta Tanvi, that would be this quality, the same situation over here.
Yes.
Yeah. And if I say Megha-shyamaha, same thing.
Megha-shyamaha, Pita-kausheya-vasaha, Megha-iva-shyamaha.
Got you. Okay.
Okay. So now the next one is Indutulyasya. We are not looking at Tanvi. Tanvi, yes, fine. You take the entire sentence. Indutulyasya Tanvi Maya Drishta. But just the Padam, we are analyzing the Padam Indutulyasya. Only that Samasta Padam. There you have Dharma Lopaha. Dharmaluptayaha udaharanam. Induna tulyam asyam yasyaha sa. So how does that compound is formed? Induna tulyam tena tulyam iti. I think there is a sutram there. So induna tulyam asyam yasyaha sa. You have three words that are joining here. Induna. You take only the pratipadikam of that. You remember in Samasa Kusumavali how we did last time, right? So the same way you are making the compound here. So induna ityasya indu. You take only the pratipadikam. Tulyam, you take only the pratipadika tulya. And then asyam, you take only the pratipadikam, which is asya. So indu tulya asya, make a sandhi wherever you need to. So indu tulyasya. Now we have to assign a gender for it. We know that it is an adjective to the lady. Yasyaha sa ityuktam. So immediately you make that compound into a strilinga compound. So indu tulyasya. You have she who has a face which is equal to the moon. That's all is given in this compound. We don't have what is the basis with which they both are being compared. It's not like you keep a compass and round up. So because the moon is like that and she's also like that. Tathava, illa kantiya, illa attractive nature, or is it the cool nature of the moon that is there with her also? So we don't know any of those things. That would be addressed by the context in a way that it will be suggested by the context to us. So we can build up on this. If the dharma is not there, we can try to bring about any number of commonalities between the two objects and try to explain it. Now here, atra, induhu upamanam, asyam upameyam, So the face, her face is being compared to the moon. So which means her face is varnyam, upameyam, prakritam. And it is being compared to the moon. So induhu eva tatra upamanam. The moon becomes the standard here. What is the vachaka shabda? How do I know that these two are being compared? Indu tulya asya. So tulya shabdaha vachakaha bhavati. What is the sadharana dharma that is absent here? So kantyadihi na upattaha iti dharma lupta. So kanti, prakashaha, amritamiva. So for someone who is just dying, the moment he sees her face, it's like amritam there. So you can bring up any number of common dharmas between the two objects and try to explain it. But the dharma na upattaha, it is not mentioned here. Hence, this is an example of dharma lupta. Is that clear? Any doubts so far? Okay. Now, in this text and in the origin,
I mean, it's interesting that both of the examples, so for both the types, are only in compounds.
Huh.
So it doesn't seem to exist outside of a compound.
It can. Yeah.
எப்படி இந்து ஆர்சியான இந்து இந்த தனியா சொல்லணும் இந்துனா துல்யா அப்படின்னு சொல்லணுமா?
துல்லியம் போடணும்னா அப்படி பண்ணணும். If you don't need to put துல்லியம், you can just have iva. That is enough.
Okay, fine. தனியா இந்துனா இவ ஆஸ்யா அப்படின்னு சொல்லணும்.
No. Induhu induriva asyam.
Yeah. If you're saying you don't need put tritiya vibhakti. Okay, induhu iva asyam yasyaha, something like that.
Yes.
Okay, so that also okay, fine. You don't need to put it in samasa, but okay, fine.
You don't need to. That is why, in Kavya Prakasha, when you go, he will say samasaga upama, tadhitaga upama. He gives a different variety of divisions there.
He makes it clearer that the technical construct is different. I mean, you could have different varieties of implementing it, samasa or no samasa.
Yes.
Or tadhita, but you would achieve the same effect where the vachaka, no, the dharma is missing.
In this case.
But for the previous one, it has to be samasa only, right? Tadit Gauri. Okay, you cannot break it and say.
You can't.
Tadit Gauri Tanvi. Can we say that? No, right? Eva will come there if you break it.
Yeah, you need eva. If you break the samasta padam, then you need the eva or some kind of this thing indicator.
So it is only samasa because
so it has to be told in samasa only, samasta pada only.
And he's also listing the sutram there, the samasa dayaka sutram, right? So I think this one is restricted to the samasas.
Yeah, this is solid. The second one is where it doesn't matter. We can break it. It depends. You can break it. It depends on where you are using. There are many places where the dharma is not mentioned, but just iva iti asti, right? Okay. The next one, he moves on to dharma and vachaka lupta.
And all those places will all those places be Bauvrihi?
Where without with the samasta padam, so you can have tena tulyam, adukapram vatihi chet, there is another vat also can come in, so it depends again.
But Tadit Gauri is not a Bahuvrihi.
No, when the lupta, that time.
Indu tulyasya, that one.
That time.
There can be other types of samasas also you can have, which can be like vagarthaviva, that is ivena saha samasaha iti. So that is a different thing also, no? So that is not bahuvrihi there. Is that clear? Yeah. Next one is mama drishoho karpuranti tanvi iti dharma vachaka luptayaha udaharanam. We saw dharma lupta, we saw vachaka lupta. So he is combining those two together and doing it according to the shlokam there. That's all. So karpuranti is an acharartha quip. So karpuram iva acharanti ityarthe vivakshite anandadayakatvat anandadayakatva Rupa achararthakasya. Arupa. This should not be there.
Anandadayakatva rupachararthakasya.
So there should not be an extra dirgha here. Ananda adhayakatva rupa achararthakasya sarva pratipatikebhyah kvibba vaktavhyah iti vihitasya kvipaha ivashabdena saha lopat dharma vachaka lupta. Now this particular word karpuranti, how does it form? It is a shastra pratyaya. You can say, you can have even lakshana for this karpurati, navanitati, kailaso navanitati. Krishna Karnamritathla there is one shlokam like that. So karpurati or karpuranti, sa karpurati, she behaves like karpuram. So why does she behave like karpuram? She behaves like karpuram for my eyes. That is, his eyes are so taken up by tapam, viraham that is there in his mind, and so the eyes are burning to see her. The moment he sees her, it is like applying a cool object to his eyes. So her form, the lady's form here is like cool karpuram, camphor for his eyes. So mama drishoho karpuranti tanvi. In this, you understand that there is no dharma here. That is, netra ananda dhayakatvam is not there. Adhayakatvam is not there. But the word karpuranti is formed by karpuram iva acharati. What happens to all that? Iva is substituted by quip. Quip is a pratyaya where all of it are gone. Halantyam, lashakvatadhite, and then you have all of those are gone. There is no existence of that quip in the word karpura and ti. Directly you have dhatu karyam to it. So karpuramiva acharati ityatra, karpura alone stays. Ive pratikritau. So that is I think the conditioning sutram should be ive pratikritau. No, he has not given this here. And sarva pratipatikebhyah kvibva vaktavhyah. You can say quip or not. Ive illan nanikkren. In the இடத்துல vera praktasya. Yeah, that is va. Vihitasya kvipaha, the quip that comes for iva. I'm trying to find out what is the adhikara sutram, because this is a vartikam. Samasachal. I think it is kyanga. Kyang kechedonu oru sutram irkanum. Adoda idudha vartikam dhaan idu. Kartuhu kyang salopascha. Yes. Okay. Kartuhu kyang salopascha. So that kyang is putram atmanam ichhati iti or upamana kartuhu subantat kyang bhavati, and in that he gives this vartikam which is sarva pratipatikebhyah kvibba vaktavhyah. So you can put quip instead of wherever there is iva artham, and behind every pratipadika you can have quip, and that quip is completely erased because all of those letters are not there, which means its effect is not at all seen in the word. That is what we want for Luptopama. Apo you have only karpura and the dhatu karyam remaining. None of the intermediary thing is there, which means our iva is lopa, is gone. And then we do not have the dharma also here, because the dharma here is achara arthakasya ananda adayakatva rupa acharanam. Acharanam is also not there. What is the acharanam that it does? The karpura has a behavior of providing coolness. That is the commonality between the lady and karpuram. That is why we are connecting those two. And that ananda adhayakam, which is represented in the form of acharati, is also absent in the word karpurati or karpuranti. Iti shatru. So you have dharma and vachaka lupta. Karpuraha is the upamanam. Tanvi is upameyam. Iti dvayam eva upaktam. Netra ananda adhayakatvarupaha dharmaha. The dharma or the quality wherein both give happiness to the eyes is not present there. Vachaka shabdaha cha na upattav. What are these two now? It is within that karpuranti. When you form, you have the iva and the acharanam in the vigraha vakyam, but as you make the padam, the dhatu, those two are gone because of the quit. Is that clear?
So once again, it is the vritti, or the in this case catch would be a namadhatu, I guess, which is hiding the dharma vachaka. Right?
The karpuranti is the word that is hiding the dharma and vachaka.
So it is it's inbuilt, just like the first example of
Tadit Gauri.
Yeah, Tadit Gauri. It's a construct. We can't separate it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Tamil, like Karpuram is compared for something like a fast disappearing object, like poof, it goes away fast. Like that kind of thing. What normally comes to mind when you equate something?
Modella, you have to remove your Tamil understanding. Pramadamnu sollindirundha apdi supernu sollindu irukka mudiyadhu illaya andha madri. When you come to this language, you will have to switch your brain.
Okay.
It's like instead of cool like a cucumber, we have to start saying cool like a karpura or something.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And also, I think it refers to pacha karpuram.
பச்சை கற்பூரம் வந்து இந்த இது போட்டு கண்ணுல இட்டுக்கிறது மைய பண்றச்சு பச்சை கற்பூரம் நான் விளக்கெண்ணெய் பண்றச்சு we use karpuram pacha karpuram for that. We use
laddu. Prasadam also has
yes, that is the karpuram that we are talking about.
Edible camphor, right?
Yes. Okay. Next one is Kantya smaravadhuyanti iti vachaka upameya luptayaha udaharanam. So vachaka and upameya are now not present. So Kantya smaravadhuyanti, this is also within the construct of the padam smaravadhuyanti. Atra Kantya atmanam smaravadhum iva acharanti. A lady who is treating herself as Rati, she is showing off herself as if she is Rati, verily Rati. So smara vadhum iva atmanam acharanti. So usually upamanat achare kyach comes in when there is an atma vyavaharaha going on. So tanvi may be the upameyam for the entire shloka, but when you consider only this particular padam smaravadhuyanti iti, if you take only that padam, then what happens is within that padam, to form that padam, you have this upamanat achare upamanad achare kyach anuvartate. So achararthe kyach is the pratyaya that is added here. So achara again, we think that there is no dharma, but we are taking in this kanti also. So kanti becomes the common dharma between smaravadhu Rati and herself. Herself is the upameyam here. It is not tanvi. You have to be very clear with this part, because the padam is formed by saying smaravadhum iva atmanam acharanti. She treats herself as Rati. So here it is not with respect to the Nayaka who looks at her and describes her, but it is more to do with her own perception of herself. So that Atma here becomes the Upameyam, which does not come into the samasta padam here, just like how in the earlier also we did not have iva in Tadit Gauri coming into the vigraha vakya samasta padam. Karpuram iva acharati, iva and acharanam both did not come into the karpuranti there. Here we have Atma, which is not coming into the Vigraha Vakyam. Sorry, into the Samastapadam. It stays only in the explanatory sentence. Yeah. So Kantya, because of her luster, Atmanam, she thinks of herself as Smara Vadhu, Manmathasya Vadhuhu iti. Ityarthe vivakshite, when this artha is intended, Upamanad Achare iti kyach pratyayaha vihitaha. This pratyaya, by the sutram Upamanad Achare, kyach is enjoined, right? So that's why this is in Parasmaipada. Kyang varche, it will be in Atmanepada. Achararte kyang api vartate. So atra Atma upameyam tachana upattam vachaka shabdo api na upattaha katham atra vigrahvakye eva vartate iva iti kintu smaravadhuyanti ityatra iva padasya praptihi nasti. So it is completely gone. So vachaka shabdaha api na upattaha. So vachaka upameya lupta. What is said here? Smaravadhu is present as the upamanam. And then kantya smaravadhu yanti iti kantimatvam becomes the sadharana dharma. Kantihi is the sadharana dharma. The kantimatvam and kanti are the same. Okay, so the dharma, the common quality between Smaravadhu and herself is Kanti. Yeah.
But this poem is said by the Nayaka. So how can we say that this is from her perspective she is behaving like a Smaravadhu yanti?
அவளுக்கு நினைப்பு அப்படின்னு சொல்றது இல்ல.
That is his perspective, not her, right?
அவளுக்கு நினைப்புன்னு சொல்றோமா இல்லையா? அவளுக்கு அப்படியே மனசுல வந்து அவனுக்கு இந்த மன்மதம் நினைப்புன்னு சொல்றோமா இல்லையா? அதுதான் இங்க. அப்படின்னா he thinks of himself as மன்மதா. அப்படிதான் அவளோட பெர்ஸ்பெக்டிவ் தானே. அப்போ ஆத்மான் தானே வரணும். ஓ தன்வி அப்படின்னு தன்னையே என்னமோ இந்த இச்சடல் அப்படின்னு இந்த யோகி பேசுற மாதிரி பேசிட்டு இருக்க முடியாது அந்த இடத்துல. Okay. Yeah. Any other doubts till now? Say, I will stop with this.